Fill me up, bread of heaven, fill me, enlighten me. Bright and morning star, build me up. Master builder, build me, empower me. Mighty great I am. Fill me up, fill me up, fill me up. They throw me out on the raging sea, swallow me up where the soul should be, roll me round in the depths of hell, sin and guilt like a prison cell, and when I've reached it can take no more, you pull me out safely to the shore. And when I've lost all my will to stand, you lift me up with your mighty hand. And you fill me up, bread of heaven, fill me, enlighten me. Bright and morning star, build me up. Master builder, build me, empower me. Mighty great I am. Fill me up. Oh Lord, fill me. They throw me down to the lion's den, surround me round wicked evil men. They watch expecting my heart to fade. Listen, will I deny my faith? And when I've reached it, you give me more. You pull me out from the lion's roar. And when I've lost all my will to stand, you lift me up with your mighty hand. And you fill me up, bread of heaven, fill me, enlighten me. Bright and morning star, build me up. Master builder, build me, empower me. Mighty great I am, and heal me up. Great physician, heal me, inhabit me. Gentle comforter, use me up. Holy master, use me, empower me. Mighty great I am. Fill me up, 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 fill me up. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Once I was lost, wandering in darkness, no life inside, no hope inside. But he called my name and healed my blindness, set me ablaze. Now I'm alive with his love breaking through my heart of stone, love breathing to awake my bones, love reaching out to save my soul, love never gonna let me go. And now my heart, so full of worship, I can't hold back, I can't contain it, for all he's done, Jesus my Savior. I am amazed and full of thanks for his love breaking through my heart of stone, love breathing to awake my bones, love reaching out to save my soul, love never gonna let me go. His love calling me as I am, love making me new again, love lifting me when I can, love never gonna let me go. Wherever you've been, whatever you've done, come as you are, come into his open arms. Wherever you've been, whatever you've done, come as you are, come find his love breaking through my heart of stone, love breathing to awake my bones, love reaching out to save my soul, love never gonna let me go. His love calling me as I am, love making me new again, love lifting me when I can, love never gonna let me go. His love breaking through my heart of stone, love breathing to awake my bones, love reaching out to save my soul, love never gonna let me go. His love calling me as I am, love making me new again, love lifting me when I can, love never gonna let me go. His love never gonna let me go. His love never gonna let me go.
Blessed are those whose ways are blameless, who walk according to the law of the Lord. Blessed are those who keep his statutes and who seek him with all their heart. They do no wrong, but follow his ways. You have laid down precepts that are to be fully obeyed. Oh, that my ways were steadfast in obeying your decrees. Then I would not be put to shame when I consider all your commands. I will praise you with an upright heart as I learn your righteous laws. I will obey your decrees. Do not utterly forsake me. Psalm 119, 1 through 8. We'll get into this a little bit more after a little bit of time of worship.
Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good, you're good. Oh, 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 let the King of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. You are good, you're good. Oh, 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 you're never gonna let me down. 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 You are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. When the night is holding on to me, God is holding on. When the night is holding on to me, God is holding on. When the night is holding on to me, God is holding on. We stand and lift up our hands, for the joy of the Lord is our strength. We bow down and worship him now. How great, how awesome is he. Together we sing. We will sing. Everyone sing. Holy is the Lord God Almighty. The earth is filled with his glory. Holy is the Lord God Almighty. The earth is filled with his glory. The earth
as we think about just one specific word that really leaps off of the pages to me from these first 8 verses in Psalm 119, and that word is obedience. And as even just when you tell someone, I need you to be obedient. I need you to. You're telling them, I need you to follow. I need you to follow the rules. I need you to hear what I say and then actually apply it. All these kind of things. And what's crazy is with this is the motives at which are used in order to fulfill the expectation of, or to fulfill the directive of obedience. When you're in a classroom at school, when you're in your job, wherever it may be, there are certain expectations of where you are, of a certain way to live and a certain way to act. And in that, if you go against those, well, guess what? There are things that you're going to be called into the principal's office for, to the boss's office for, whatever it may be. When we do not follow those rules, we can't just sit back and say, well, that was my choice, and this is what I chose to do, and I don't expect anything to come from that, and there's no reason I should be held accountable for that. Well, when we think of it in this way, well then, why even have the rules? Why even have that expectation of it? Well, then the next response is, well, it'd be chaotic. That we need to have some things in place in order to bring about an environment of learning, an environment of production, whatever it may be. And so these rules that we have there, and with the expectation of obedience, they're for our benefit. Right? Now, and again, I want to go back to kind of these motives. For some of it, it may be that we don't want to get in trouble. We don't want to lose our job. We don't, all these kind of things that we don't want to do. And so that's why we do it. Well, then you have the other side that says that this is my motive in life when, it's, I'm one of those when I hear the rules that I'm all about following the rules. And it's not so much that I don't want to get in trouble. It's just that I want to have this, ability to come back so that when, maybe not even just so much when others see me, they can see an example, that I'm setting. That may not be the intentions, but that can be the next thing that happens with that, right? That can be the response of those. That they'll see that you have somebody that just really is respectful, and that is really seeking not to please others, but seeking to do what they know needs to be done. It comes down to this. It drives me crazy. Have to versus get to, and maybe you've heard me say this before, but I'm not a big fan of have to. Right? Sometimes, yes, I know there are some situations that it can fit into, but 99.9% of the time, I would rather look at things that I get to rather than I have to. And you see, when it comes down to obedience, not in a classroom and not at your job, not at your place of employment, but when it comes obedience to God and His laws and His direction for us, one of the things that we look at is we can say have to versus get to. Yes, in some way you can look and say, yeah, we have to, or or we can say we get to because. We get to because of what Jesus has done for us. So let's let's look a little bit more at this. He says, blessed are those whose ways are blameless, who walk according to the law of the Lord. And many times in Scripture, what we find is when one statement is made, that following statement explains in further detail what he's talking about. Okay, he says, blessed are those whose ways are blameless. Well, one of the descriptions of what that looks like, a blameless way, is one who it is a life of one who is walking according to the law of the Lord. He also says, blessed are those who keep his statutes. You might even use this word, this word protect. Check this out from Psalm 78, verse 7. It says, then they would put their trust in God and would not forget his deeds, but would keep his commands, that they would protect them. They would hold on to them. Also, he says that they would seek him with all their heart. Psalm 9, verse 10. Those who know your name trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Right? So he says, and again, that what does it look like? Those who seek him and who keep or protect his statutes. Well, they do no wrong, but again, they follow his ways. They obey his ways. Think of Psalm 81, verse 13. Look at this. It says, if my people would only listen to me. In this example, he uses Israel. It says, if Israel would only follow my ways, that we would hold on to his ways, that we would look at it as we get to be obedient to God because what he has done for us. You've laid down your precepts so to be fully obeyed. And of course, this is before the cross, right? And so when we think even of New Testament language of laid down, we think about the life that was laid down for us, the life that was given for us. And so he says, oh, that my ways were steadfast in obeying your decrees. And if that were the case, he says, I would not be put to shame when I consider all your commands. If my ways were steadfast and I kept your commands and kept everything about it, that I was obedient in every way, then yes, I would have not experienced shame when I think back or even regret that in moments in my life that did not match up in the way that they needed to match up, that I did not live up, God, to the standards that you place before me. And so my response is that I still get to do these things, again, because of what you have done for us. I will praise you with an upright heart as I learn your righteous laws. So even those things that he keeps and protects, and he's keeping it and protecting it, and he's seeking it out, and he's holding to it, and seeking to no longer live in shame when it comes to it, but also looking to learn more, not being satisfied with what he knows, with what he has sought out to this point, or what we have sought out to this point, right? Let's put it back on us. But that we are continually learning, we are continually growing, we're continually developing this life, developing this heart. And he says, I will obey your decrees. I will obey your laws. Psalm 78:56. It says that about putting God to the test and rebelling against him. Well, that's what it means to not keep his statutes. The opposite of holding on to those laws, to those commands, to those decrees of God is rebellion. We mentioned that this is before the cross, before the crucifixion. Well, there's even another moment that is before the cross, but it comes in the New Testament as well. And I want to read this to you from John chapter 15. He says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit. Well, every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. So he says, remain in me. Continue to keep and protect and to seek these things out. And continue to understand that, yes, that even when you fall short, he says you're already clean because the word that I planted in you. But also continue to learn what it means to remain in him. He says, remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. We cannot produce fruit if we are not connected to the tree. We cannot produce the life that God desires separate from God. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. As we think about this from Psalm 119, and tomorrow night we're going to look at verses 9 through 16. But tonight he says, blessed are those. Blessed are the ones whose ways are blameless, who walk in the light, in the love, in the hope, in the grace, in the peace that comes from God. And if we desire to experience those things, he says, remain in me. Remain in God. Remain connected to him. Remain in that relationship with him. And remember, we get to because of what God has done for us. We'll see y'all tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. God bless.
This is for the busted hearts. This is for the question marks. This is for the outcast soul, lost control, no one knows. Sing it for the can't go back. Sing it for the broken past. Sing it for the just found out. Life is now upside down. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're fighting the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. And if we fall, we will fall together. Together.
This is for my brother. I see you, my sister.
We rise, we will rise together. Together.
Take my hand. Help me stand.
When we rise together.
Yes, sir.
Together we are dangerous. Together with our differences. Together we are bolder, braver, stronger.